We've reached the knockout stages of the Champions League. We play up against Juventus. They beat us all those years ago in the knockout stages of the Europa League. Let's see if we can get revenge and if we can perhaps progress to the next knockout round in the Champions League in our final season here at Kilmarnock. Let's get into it. Yes, hello, welcome into 11am Sports, here for the Killie boys on Football Manager 21. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button for more daily Football Manager content. We've just got the last few months of the Killie boys here until we reach the end of this season, the last season with Kilmarnock, before we start some new stuff on the channel. So if you are looking forward to that, hit that subscribe button, join part of the 11am Sports family, and we'll progress through Football Manager 21 with some very interesting things to finish off this game cycle. If you missed the last episode, it's right down the bottom of the screen here. We had 2 wins. We beat Motherwell in the Betfred Cup final, and we beat Galatasaray in our last Champions League group stage game. It does mean that we've drawn Juventus in the first knockout round of the Champions League, which is happening today, as well as a lot of other stuff. As you can see, that game that we played against Galatasaray was in the middle of December. It's now the middle of February. We've had 2 months worth of games to talk you through. Lots and lots to talk about, as well as the January transfer window, where there's some stuff to talk about that. And we play Juventus today. It's a very, very busy episode. Lots to do. So let's get into it. And let's first talk about the transfers. Let's first talk about the outs. The first one here is Jeff Eisner. I'm disappointed to lose Jeff because he was pretty decent when he played for us. He played 6 times each season we've had him here, scoring 3 goals in his first season, 1 in his second season. Not really meant to score goals in the second half, but he was always very good for us. We have, however, sold him for double the amount of money that we bought him for, and he's only played 12 games for us, so can't really complain getting 12 million for Jeff, who was a backup centre-half. So Jeff Eisner's away to West Brom. The next one's quite sad. Ryan Hamill, who was an important player for us for quite a while. We signed him for $5.5 million for Celtic. We've now sold him for $10 million to Southampton. Just didn't really play this season after we changed our formation, and we didn't really play with an attacking midfield player. He played alright, was a backup to Jovic for many years, but yeah, as I say, no real place for him in the team. Now we've changed the formation, but we made £10 million from him. And one that you might be quite surprised, or maybe not when you saw how much we used him, is Dylan Hammond. We signed him for £10 million from Arsenal at the start of the season, and we've sold him to Sheffield United now for £10 million. Didn't really play for us. He's played 3 times for Sheffield United since he's moved there in the English Championship. He's done well for them, but yeah, didn't really use him, unfortunately. So yeah, away to Sheffield United. They are all the big sales. Again, there's not really much to talk about in terms of transfers, really. It doesn't really matter for this episode because you're only going to get to see another few months of the season, but these are the guys that we've lost, so you certainly won't be seeing them. But coming in, there's a couple who you probably will be seeing a little bit of. The first one is Serkan Ozar here. We signed him for £3.5 million from Leipzig as a backup striker. I kind of noticed we only had Boba up front, and don't get me wrong, that was good. Boba was scoring lots of goals and still has been, but if he got injured, we didn't really have a full out-and-out striker to cover for him. Alfredo, yeah, and maybe Demal, but they were playing out on the wings quite a lot. An actual out-and-out striker with good finishing we didn't really have. And Ozar here has 17 finishing, which is one of the highest I've seen in the game, especially for a club of my level. Happy to have him in for 6 months as a backup. I say he's already played 3 games for us and scored a goal, but I mean most of those have been substitute appearances. So he's been playing all right when he has come off the bench. But 17 finishing. That's really what I'm looking at here for him. We've also signed another one of our favourite type of players, who's the man who can play up front and also on the wing. He's almost exactly like a Boba, is Andre Silva here. He costs slightly more than the £3.5 million that Ozar costs. He costs $17 million from Getafe. He has played 1 game in the league and he has scored 1 goal. He's also played a game in the Scottish Cup where he scored 2 goals. So he's doing not bad, having scored 3 goals in 2 games. Another nice, well-rounded player, 6'1", a wee bit of height on him as well. So he can play wide or up front. His finishing is 13. He's got some nice, well-rounded stats as well. Probably didn't need him, but I've brought him in anyway. He's going to be another attacking option to sit on our bench probably to come in and replace Boba when Boba requires a little rest, or if we're playing a less important match, he might get the game up front. But that's Andre Silva. They're the two you've got to remember. Ozar and Silva kind of backup attacking options. And as you can see from the screen in front of you, we have had a fairly successful last 2 months, even though we did have our first Scottish Premiership defeat in the game directly after the episode that you saw the last time. We lost 2-0 to Celtic in the league. Shola Shortire, who often scores against us, getting 2 goals in that game. And we lost it 2-0. We did bounce back with a 2-1 win over St Mirren, goals from Fabricio Fuentes and Andrew O'Toole, who actually was playing in that game for us up front, which is one of the reasons why we brought in a few strikers, because I was using a midfielder up front as one of my strikers. Not really great when I was having to do some rotation there. They did get a late goal, but it was not enough, and we won the game 2-1. We then had a disappointing draw against Aberdeen, 1-1. Isaac got a goal after Lewis Ferguson put Aberdeen up 1-0. And to finish the calendar year, we beat Dundee United 2-1. Goals from Isaac and Simon Thompson. We beat Mainz in a friendly, that was fine, but then we beat Dunfermline in the Scottish Cup 4th round. Goals from Mateo Demal, 2 goals from Andre Silva, which I mentioned before, and Esteban Rodriguez getting a late goal as well. That was a very successful month for us, was January. We then beat Hearts 3-0, Andre Silva with a penalty, Fabricio Fuentes and Ozar with goals. We beat Ayr 5-0, Boba with a goal, 2 from Abraham Fuentes, 1 from Stacey, 1 from Fabricio Fuentes. Hamilton was 5-1, scoring lots and lots of goals here. Boba got himself a hat-trick, and Esteban Rodriguez and Darren Anderson got a goal each as well. And we beat Hibs 4-0, where Boba scored all 4 goals. So between the games against Hamilton and Hibs, Boba scored 7 goals in 2 games. Not bad for your striker there. We then played against Rangers, where we got a draw 2-2. That was a very close game, to be honest. A goal from Boba and a goal from Fabricio Fuentes, our 2 main men, which I'm very glad we managed to keep them both. There was lots and lots of transfer offers for both of them during the January window, but we kept a hold of both of those players. We then played East Fife in the Scottish Cup 5th round. Goals for Ozar and Mateo Demal, and that got us a 2-0 victory. We had a lot of rotation in that side, so good to see we still got through. Then it was a disappointing defeat, I must say, to Motherwell. Boba got 2 goals and Isaac got 1, but they scored goals late on in the game. We went up 2-0, then they scored 2 in the space of 2 minutes, and then we went up 3-2, and then Esteban Rodriguez scored an own goal in the 92nd minute. Very disappointing indeed, but we kind of bounced back with a lovely win against Aberdeen. Radovan Lukic and Blair Lunin scoring goals in that. It was a very rotated side because we were resting the players in preparation for the game up against Juventus today, which is slightly more important than the game up against Aberdeen. So in the Scottish Cup, we play up against Aberdeen. The other games are Dundee United against Motherwell, Dumbarton St Mirren, and Rangers will play Wraith or Inverness. So there's not a huge number of amazing teams left. It's really us and Rangers who are the ones that will be looking to win this competition. Perhaps we could win it here in our last season with Kilmarnock. You remember we won it a couple of years ago, but apart from that, it's been Rangers, Hibs, Celtic, and that's it. So we've not really reached a final. We reached a final right back in our second season against Rangers, but then since then we've been fairly disappointing in the Scottish Cup. So hopefully we can possibly win it this year. Actually, just when I'm looking here, I feel sorry for Hibs who've got to the final the last 4 years and haven't won it. They were runners-up every single year of those 4 years. They're not going to get to be runners-up this year because they're already knocked out, but that's fairly disappointing for them. In the Scottish Premiership, you can see we are currently 8 points clear at the top of the table. Celtic do have a game in hand, though, so if they win that, it only goes to 6 points clear. But yeah, well ahead at the top of the table. Our only loss coming against Celtic, as I mentioned when I was going through our results there. Boba is the top scorer with 21, and Fabricio Fuentes has got 13 as well. Boba's average rating is nearly 8. Boba's also the most assists in the league, so most goals and most assists and most player of the matches. He's fairly good, Boba. So he is. If you actually look at some of Boba's stats here, he scored 21 goals and 9 assists in 19 league games. But if you look at his overall stats down there, in 29 total games, which is 27 starts and 2 sub-appearances, he's got 29 goals and he's also got 12 assists. He's pretty good. He's scored or created 41 goals in 29 games. And since he only cost us £1.5 million a couple of seasons ago from Red Star Belgrade, I would say it's a fairly successful signing because he's currently worth 20 million. He's wanted by teams like Arsenal and Bayern Munich. I imagine if we continued playing this, he probably wouldn't be a come-on-up player for that long, to be honest. What makes it more impressive is his goal scoring. His finishing is 9 out of 20. 9. And he's scored 29 goals in 29 games. Imagine if that finishing was slightly higher. Even something like a 12. Think how good a player this man would be. But anyway, enough drooling over how amazing Boba is. Let's get into the game today. Up against Juventus, the first knockout round, first leg. It's been played at Rugby Park. Let's see how we get on. Let's show you the team for this game. And it's a team you've probably become fairly familiar with this season. Garcia starts in goal with Perez and Anderson at the back. Sika on the right and Thompson on the left. Vlalic in between Stacey and Isaac. Both Fuentes out there on the wings and Boba up front. Our bench contains Rodriguez, Carrasco, Yav Francisco, Pedraita, Demal and Oza. Ryan Morris is our backup keeper if needed as well. You can see the goals mainly come from Boba and Fuentes, so hopefully they can get some today. Looking at the players that Juventus have still got that are actual people, Gabriel Martinelli's there, Federico Chiesa's now the captain. There's a few names you might recognise, but obviously I imagine a lot of region players as well in there. They're lining up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Over and Pellegrini as well at fullback, being actual players and not just made up ones. Hopefully we can get the win today, I say, at Rugby Park, up against Juventus. They knocked us out of the Europa League a long time ago now, actually. Let's see if we can get our own back here. But it's early on in this game. Tagliafico's found Martinelli and sent in. Finds Pellegrini on the left-hand side. He swings it in and it's put into our own goal. 5 minutes into the game, Sergio Perez has scored an own goal. Well, what a start. The ball played down this left-hand side, sent in, plays it into Pellegrini, who gets to the byline and just drives it across. Oh, and Perez slides in and puts it into his own goal. And they're up 1-0. What a start. Throw in on the right-hand side from Juventus here. Chiesa with it. Back to Over. Drives in field. Oh, good save from Garcia. I must say, I would like if we could have a chance. That would be nice because we've not really had the ball in any of these highlights yet. Escobedo with it here, down the right-hand side, finds Over, into Gaspar, swings it in toward Dalfor, and Rocky Dalfor scores his 10th goal of the season to put Juventus 2-0 up after 15 minutes here. I'm going to skip the highlight because I don't want to watch it. Could we perhaps play slightly better? A highlight here and we actually have the ball. Let's see how long we keep it. Sika gets the ball back from Fuentes, back to Isaac, swings the ball in. Fuentes finds Stacey and Thompson hits it, deflects off the defender. Sika and Fabrizio Fuentes gets his 19th of the season. That was a very, very strange chance. The ball bounced about a lot there, eventually coming to Fuentes there. Isaac, you see, swings it. Fuentes to Stacey. Stacey finds Thompson, hits it with his weaker foot, bounces off the back of Fuentes, finds Sika, who plays it infield to the other Fuentes, and Fabrizio Fuentes just thrashes that in at the near post. And we are now down just 2-1. We've started to kind of come into this game toward the end of the first half. Hopefully, we can take that form into the second half here. Maybe we can get level before the half-time whistle. Stacey with the ball on the edge of the box. Fuentes back to Stacey. Finds Sika. He drives forward. He hits it. Oh, and we are. It's level. It's 2-2. The 47th minute of the game. Just before halftime. 45 plus 2. And we're back level. A lovely finish. The midfield passed the ball about nicely. Stacey finds Fuentes. Back to Stacey. Fuentes had come in field, which left a huge gap for Sika, who drove forward, got the ball, and just put it across the goalkeeper. Lovely finish in the bottom corner. Not bad for a right back, eh? And it's 2-2 here. And after a disappointing start to the game, we've played our way back into it. I'll say I'm definitely pleased with how things are going. Maybe we can continue this form and get a winner in this second half. Thompson with the free kick on the left-hand side. Stacey into Vlalic and Isaac. Out to Thompson, who's on the overlap. Can he swing it in? Plays it into Stacey. Will he hit it? No, he finds Thompson again. Back into Stacey. Stacey to Boba. And Boba, of course, is going to get a goal. The man we were talking about, how amazing he's been. He gets a goal today. His 30th of the season. That's going to be, goodness me, Fantastic play down that left-hand side. Not bad for a centre-back playing at left-back from Thompson. Into Stacey. He swings the ball into the box and Boba gets his left leg to it and wraps it round it on the volley into the open goal. And we're up 3-2. That's a brilliant turnaround. If I was a Juventus manager, I would be raging that we went up 2-0 and now we're down 3-2. But they have got the ball back here. Sentin finds over out in this left-hand side through toward Chiesa, and it's a good finish, and it's back to 3-3. And this could be a classic tie for the ages if it keeps up like this. 6 goals in 60 minutes. It's a nice piece of play from Juventus. You can tell they're a very high-quality side. There's no one tries that run of Chiesa. Thompson tries to run backwards, never going to win that race. And Chiesa, the captain of Juventus at the moment, tucks that ball away, but we do have a corner kick. Boba will swing it, and it's headed at the back post, and Darren Anderson gets his 5th goal of the season, and we're up 4-3. 7 goals in 63 minutes here. This is going to be an amazing game. Boba swings that ball in to the back post. That's why he's got so many assists as well as goals, because he's a set piece taker for us. He probably could have scored quite a few if he wasn't taking the set pieces, but a good header from Darren Anderson. And we're up 4-3, and there's 15 minutes to go. And I must say, I think I might make a few changes because some of the people are a little bit dead on their feet. Matteo Demal can come out to play on that left-hand side, and Isaac's not having a good game, so we'll bring on George Pedrahita for him. And we'll see if that makes any difference at all to the way this game's going to go for the last 15 minutes. We are up 4-3 at the moment. I would take that going back to Turin, but we'll see what happens. Pellegrini with it, plays the ball forward. It's headed away by Perez, only as far as Rabuano and Sanchez. That looks like an apostrophe in there, but it's a good chance for Fuentes. But they say it's a free kick. What on earth? That's not a free kick. He's been sent off. What? What? How's that? What? I need to go and see that again. So here's a replay of it. Sanchez down the left-hand side. Fuentes slides in, wins the ball, and gets sent off. They're claiming it was a 2-footed lunge. What? It didn't look like a 2-footed lunge to me. We've moved Boba to play on the right wing, so we're not actually playing with a striker at the moment. The ball swung in by Juventus here. It's cleared away. Goes out to Pellegrini. It's intercepted and Boba comes away with it. Yeah, we've moved Boba to cover it right mid and we're not playing with a striker anymore. But I don't think that was a sending off. It didn't look like it anyway. But they claim it was a 2-footed lunge. So I suppose we've got to agree if it was a 2-footed lunge, then it should be a sending off. But that's a disappointing way to end this game. It means Fuentes is going to miss the next one as well. And we'll see if we can hold on to a 4-3 here. Sanchez plays it through to Tagliafico. Tagliafico scores a goal and he's made it 4-4. And that sending off's completely changed the way this game's going to go. It's going to end up being a draw, it looks like here. There's 5 minutes added time, so it might not even be a draw. Juventus might end up finding a winner. Tagliafico with it through to Sanchez. And the ball's back to Tagliafico. Goes down this left-hand side. Finds Rabuano. Plays it into the middle, and Demal comes away with it. He just launches it. Why? Just hold on to the ball. There's no need to do that. Demal's got it now. And we've got a 3-on-2. If he can switch the play, he can. Boba's through. Can he finish? Can he get the winner? Boba just runs straight into the goalkeeper. Oh, dearie me. But Vlalic has got the ball back. Pedrahita finds Stacey. Oh, he plays the ball straight to the Juventus centre-back. What on earth are we doing? Behave, boys. Calm down. Chiesa plays it through to Tagliafico and it's saved by Garcia and there's 2 minutes of added time left. Let's see if we can get through. It looks like we have a 4-all draw. What a game for this first leg here. So much drama. 4-all. A man sent off. A huge comeback after going down 2-0. What's not to like? What a game this was. And that sets up a really interesting game away in Turin for the second leg in the next episode. I'm going to say everyone thought we were going to get beaten. We proved them wrong. Well done. And I tell you what, that's going to be difficult because we're not going to have Fabrizio Fuentes in the next game, who's a very, very important man off that right-hand side for us. Youthful Kilmarnock draw with Juventus. I tell you, that was one of the best games I think I've watched on Football Manager. Well, after that 4-all draw, we're going to come back for the second leg in the next episode. We're going to play 4 league games in a Scottish Cup quarter-final between now and then. And I say we'll come back, show you how we've done in those games, Be prepared for an exciting game away in Turin if that game at Rugby Park is anything to go by. 4-all, 8 goals in that game. Hopefully there'll be lots of goals in the next one as well. In fact, we're going to have 2 games. We're going to show you the league game up against Celtic, and then we're going to be playing up against Juventus. Why not? 2 games in the next episode. 2 big games. 1 big game for the league and 1 big game for the Champions League. So if you're looking forward to that one or you have enjoyed this one, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help out the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're looking forward to the rest of the series and the start of some new ones, share it with all your friends who you think might like this. I really do appreciate that. I see there's more people coming to the channel every day, and it's really, really good to see. I very much appreciate it. And until the next video, we'll see you then.